Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. The Afternoon Tune brought to you by Awa, the Queen Mother. They're brought to you by her there. We got a good special show for you people today. I am Josh, and I got my co-host today, Dusk. How's it going there, Dusk?
Hey everybody, the spirits are with us.
They are with us, man. They're holding us tight and in their bosom, man, tonight. We got a good show. Of course, we're going to be doing a review for Avatar Fire and Ash. Avatar Fire and Ash. That's the big movie out this week. The big movie of December there. Also going to do a little fewer smaller movies there. Some movies that went on streaming. Movie that had a smaller release there. On the top of Avatar Fire and Ash, we're going to do Hedda, which is that Tessa Thompson movie on Amazon Prime. And then doing Dust Bunny, which is a Brian Fuller film there. Brian Fuller, people might know him. He did Hannibal and Pushing Daisies, two shows I really loved a lot. So now that he's made his transition into film from being a showrunner, television writer, television director, now to a feature filmmaker there with his first directorial debut with Dust Bunny. So I'm excited to talk about that. Also, with the movie The Housemaid, that's the latest Sydney Sweeney movie, Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried there. A suburban thriller directed by Paul Feig. Is it Feig or Feig? Feig.
Yeah, Paul Feig.
Paul Feig there, director of such hit films, Bridesmaids, Spy. He also did
2016.
Ghostbusters 2016. Who could forget that one? Classic. He also did A Simple Favor as well there with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively.
But he's most known for the TV series, one-season TV series, Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, Freaks and Geeks. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, he did Freaks and Geeks there.
Yeah, it's one of his main. He also did some Community as well. Some episodes of Community.
Okay, nice. So yeah, I'm going to be discussing that movie
and The Office, I think.
Did he do The Office?
Yeah, he did a couple episodes. Like he cameoed in one of them.
Oh, okay. And no real news. I mean, we already discussed. I mean, the big thing about Avengers Doomsday, that was the trailer. They did a trailer before Avatar. They haven't officially released it yet, but you can see it. People have already talked about it already because they've seen it, and it's already got leaked beforehand. But we already did that. I talked about that with Sage. It really ain't much to really talk about. It's Chris Evans. He's on a bike and he's looking at his costume and he's got a baby now. It's like, okay, ain't really much to talk about there. But yeah, there's that. So it really ain't really much news there to discuss. So we'll just do these reviews and head out of here. Upcoming streams there. I got no stream plan for Saturday. Got no stream plan for Sunday. Monday, I'm going to be with Sage there. We're going to be doing spoiler talk for Dispatch. I played Dispatch 2-3 times now. And so doing a spoiler talk with that, getting into all our different paths and discussions. It's a choose your own adventure type thing. So, getting into all that and the choices we made and just about the story in general and why it works so well. So do a spoiler talk for Dispatch. I also played Metal Gear Solid Delta. So getting a spoiler talk about that in that
Want to give us a quick preview on how you felt about it?
Metal Gear Solid Delta?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit. I liked it. I've only ever played and beaten one. Well, fully, I've played some other Metal Gear games, but the only one I've ever beaten besides this one was Metal Gear Solid 4. So I haven't beaten any other ones. So this was really good. It was a quick game, really great story there.
There's a lot of replay value.
A lot of replay value there. Different ways you can approach the game. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, the original one had tons of replay, and then they did Substance, which changed some things and removed some features and some other stuff. But that one's a very good one as well. Fixed a lot of control issues as well.
Yeah, that was also, I think I heard. And you have the choice to do the old controls. Maybe I'll play through it again playing with the old controls.
You do. The problem with that was they didn't carry over the positives that came with Substance. And Substance, there was the original control schemes, and then Substance added the newer version, which you had. But you could switch in between it on the fly. And you could still control the camera with one stick while still being in that old form. So you could kind of have like an ad hoc compromise. So you could still have what the game was made for intentionally, but also have a camera change. Then Delta didn't do that. They didn't carry over that change. So it's you either can see what you're doing or you can't. You
Mm,
play with the old school controls where it was very fixed camera, where there was like a nice compromise. You could turn the camera or change the view on it on those different areas. So if you still wanted to play with the older controls, you could still do it. But
yeah.
Delta didn't do that. I don't know. Maybe they'll patch it in. Who knows? Or a modder will mod it in.
Maybe it's already out there already.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't checked the modding scene yet.
Yeah. You know what they should have done? They should have added a mode where it's like you can just, it can look like the older game. They should put like a they should well, they do have the piss filter. You can put the piss filter
Yeah,
on.
you can put the green filter on.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that too. Put
You
the
can
piss
do
filter.
that. That has its own stuff. Uh, I mean, honestly, if they were being really they could just slip the original game into it for free
Mm,
because
yeah,
the other one had the substance added Metal Gear 1 and 2 as just a bonus.
mm,
So I
yeah,
mean, the Metal Gear 3 isn't that big, all things considered. It was huge for, back then, but now you can slip the whole game in there, all details, everything.
yeah. So this was yeah, I love playing this game, very much so.
Some people consider it the original one of their favorites of the franchise.
Yeah, I heard it's yeah, big fan favorite. Also one of the I think it's on a lot of list of best video games ever. Just
Oh yeah,
period.
for what it does, its mechanics and uh, what it tells you and what it doesn't tell you. I bet you played it, you even know. Did you know you can eat poisonous stuff very slowly over time and build up an immunity?
I think Sage did tell me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and the game doesn't tell you you can do that, but just using survival book and survival everything, you can it kind of it leaves it in the air and lets you figure it out, and you build up an immunity over time. There's just so many extra details about 3 that is it 2004. It came out in 2004, and it's still leaps ahead of any other stealth game that has come after, aside from maybe I wanna say not Siphon Filter, my goodness. Um,
Mm.
the other, Sam Fisher and his games.
Sam Fisher,
Yeah, Sam Fisher's the main kid, Splinter Cell.
oh, Splinter Cell. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
my bad, yeah. That was, like, the big 3 at the time was, Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell,
What about
Metal
Hitman?
Gear in it, and then, Gabe in, Siphon Filter. They were the
Mm.
big 3 military, stealth action games.
Yeah.
But, I
Does
mean
Hitman does he
mhm.
work for the military or no? He just an
No,
assassin?
Hitman is a third party assassin who's hired by the organization to carry out contracts.
Mm.
And then,
Okay.
depending on the game, he's either out on his own doing his own thing and carrying out his own contracts.
Mm.
So it
Okay.
varies depending on which continuity you're going with. But
Mm.
the Hitman 1 and 2 and current one, he's still under, the organization's contract list.
Mm. Gotcha. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I've never been I don't think I've ever played a Splinter Cell game. I've never played Splinter Cell.
They're very good.
Uh, okay. Is it
They,
like American Metal
mhm.
Gear? So it's American Metal
Oh,
Gear.
well, it's Tom Clancy, so a lot of it is very,
Yeah.
don't even start. Don't even start with those gosh darn movies. You know what? I'll give the first Hitman movie this. Uh, there was a sexy strip scene, a sexy strip scene in that movie, and I was like, okay, that's all right. That I could have tolerated that in like when that movie came out, but it's 2025. I can see that scene on YouTube.
Radiant from Maturity says, Sage, say, well, you're watching season 2 of Fallout. Yeah,
Oh
that comes
God,
out, I think, is it out already or it comes out in
it
a couple
just
of
yeah, it
weeks?
just came out.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I don't know if I can do it. I know I should have made that video. I'm still working on it of how
Mm.
much they're just not paying attention. I guess if I do the video, I'll watch it.
Didn't they say that this season's supposed to be canon to the game? It's
Oh,
supposed
I'm
to lead
sure they're
into the
gonna what
Fallout, the next Fallout game or something?
yeah, I know. Look, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Bethesda's quote unquote canon makes no sense. Their games haven't really been canon for me since Fallout 4. They've wiped their own ass with the canon. And 76 definitely wiped their butt with canon, so I don't trust anything they do with it. They can say
Mm,
it's canon all they want.
mm. Yeah, so I think it was supposed to lead into the new game or something like that.
Yeah, I know they wanna do Fallout 5 in San Diego or LA, and I'm just like, we've already been on the East Coast twice in Fallout 1 and 2. Heck, in New we visited Nevada and Ohio in, in one of the DLCs in Honest Hearts for New Vegas. It was more
Mm,
interesting. At least DC, I'll give it this, at least DC was an interesting and cool choice for another Fallout on the West Coast, and, Boston was also an interesting choice. Why
Boston.
not Boston? Why not try, Pennsylvania? Or you know what? We haven't seen the Midwest since, Fallout Tactics. Why not explore that?
Mm,
Like, there's
interesting.
tons of stuff they could do within the Fallout universe. I mean, fans have already been working on that. There's Fallout Sonora, which was made with the Fallout 2 engine. That they just that one takes place in Lower Nevada and New Mexico, even going into the border of Mexico. It's a that
Mm.
one's really cool. Guy who made the
Fallout
soundtrack is
Juarez?
fantastic. Fallout Sonora.
No, I was just saying if they do another game,
Oh
Mexico,
god.
Fallout Juarez, yeah, do that.
Fallout Juarez. I mean, why not, man? There's a lot of interesting stuff. Fallout is a really fascinating franchise. You could do a lot with. Uh, but Bethesda takes like 15 years to make a game, so
Well, perfection takes time, man.
I guess so. I guess
You know,
so.
you know.
Oh god,
Uh,
Skyrim Grandma's not even gonna make it to the next Elder Scrolls at this rate.
yeah. Didn't she retire? It's that
Oh yeah, I
Skyrim?
mean she's been playing Skyrim for like 10 years.
Yeah, she retired or something?
I mean she retired from playing Skyrim.
Mm,
She's just playing another game. I mean, we all love Skyrim Grandma. She's just she's just done. She's played the game to death for 10 years. I'm fine
yeah.
with her moving on and playing other games.
Yeah, it says here, yeah, the woman's name is, Shirley Curry.
Yep.
She said she announced, stop uploading Skyrim videos, citing boredom and not getting feedback from viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, what should be her next game?
Ah, you know what? I would love to see her play Daggerfall.
Daggerfall? Okay.
I'd love to see her play Daggerfall or one of the older Fallout other Elder Scrolls games. I'd like to see her play Fallout, or if she wants, if she's done with Bethesda, play other older RPGs or other things. I'd love to see that.
What about KOTOR?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, honestly, KOTOR 1 and 2 would actually be really cool choices for her. I think she'd have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that seems like a good, progression, move on from
Yeah,
Skyrim to play KOTOR.
yeah. She knows what it feels like to play an actual RPG.
Yeah. What you trying to say, Skyrim's not a good RPG?
In comparison to its other Morrowind to it, no.
Mm,
A lot of RPG elements were watered down in between it, but that's a whole other conversation. Also,
yeah.
Hunter, you're right. Fallout in New Orleans would be interesting, but then again, they'd have to build up a whole thing for it. And you know what? If they did it in New Orleans, you know what they could do is then they could take all the assets they make for that, and then they could have a Black Marsh. They could do Skyrim. They could do Elder Scrolls in the Black Marsh. With the Argonians, they'd already save all the assets because it's basically just one big swamp.
Mm, yeah,
I mean, they've
you can
done
do that.
swamps twice with Point Lookout and Far Harbor DLC.
The music would be really good,
Oh
they
yeah,
kinda
absolutely.
music would be really good, and they kinda have similar kinda jazz music and Fallout and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
like I
so
said, they could kill two birds with one stone.
but yeah, so that's what we're doing Monday. So Metal Gear, Dispatch, Sage said so it's an action game with light RPG elements.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it basically became. It's just more of a hack and slash that also has light RPG elements, unless you mod the crap out of it.
Mm, okay.
One of the best mod packs I've seen right now is called Lore Rim.
Lore Rim.
Yes,
Okay.
lore, like Lore, and then Rim, as in Skyrim.
Mm, okay. Interesting. But yeah, so do that Monday. Also, Jujutsu Kai. I got to review that movie. Jujutsu Kaisen Execution. I saw it. I got to review it. I'll review it Monday. I'll just do that. Crank that out Monday.
We're busy,
Um,
man.
and that's pretty much the only thing on the docket
Cool.
for Monday. There, I'll try to see if I can maybe if I can watch an anime there. In between that, I got a lot of shows to catch up on. This list is growing longer and longer of future reviews. I got to trim some of this down. Um, so that Wednesday, me and Neil. Hopefully Neil is better. He's feeling a little ill right now. Send him some well wishes if you can. Well, that makes it sound like he's dying. He's just a little sick there. But
I hope he's
yeah,
thinking.
me and Neil. Let's see. For Wednesday, I think we're gonna do a Rob Reiner movie. We'll do Princess Bride. We'll do a review
Oh,
there.
classic, classic movie. One of my
Fir-
top 10.
Yeah, first time seeing it. I'd never seen it before. So yeah, do a review for that Wednesday. It's already close to Christmas time around then. So I was supposed to do
Mm,
a Wonderful Life this Tuesday, but Neil ended up getting sick, so I couldn't review it there with
mhm,
him this Wednesday. So we'll do it next time. Next holiday, we'll do a review for It's a Wonderful Life. But Wednesday, only thing on the docket right now I have is just we'll just do Princess Bride. Um no stream Friday, Christmas time, so no stream,
mm.
then there. I know a lot of stuff's coming out, Mari Supreme and a lot of other smaller stuff is coming out then. But we'll catch up on that, next Friday, so no stream next Friday at all. Well, the Friday after the next one, I should say, but yeah, no stream there. Yeah, Hunter said, "Yeah, there's so much crap out right now. Just watch Tron Ares. Jared Leto is awful. Damn, you behind, man. You behind on the curve, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was there already. You should watch our review. I tore that movie to shreds, and Josh was just like, "It's all right."
I didn't say it was all right. I give it
It,
that. No, I said I didn't like it.
you didn't like it, but you're like, "Eh, it's the same quality as Legacy."
Yeah, because I don't I don't really like any of the Tron movies.
I
So,
know, and that bothered me. I was just like, "How could you say that?"
yeah, I'm not a big Tron guy. Yeah, I never really was big into Tron. So for me, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, Little sucks. Tron's a good fit for him. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff out right now. There's that movie with Will Arnett. I got to go see that movie where he's like a stand-up comic.
Mm.
There's that movie. What else there? I still have to see Silent Night, Deadly Night. I still have to see that. Um, are you gonna go see SpongeBob? Are you gonna go see that movie, SpongeBob? There's that out right now. I
Yes,
don't.
the thing is excellent.
Yes, the thing is excellent. One of the greatest, my favorite movies. I love the thing.
Yeah, John Carver's
Um,
The Thing is fantastic. One of the top horror movies of all time.
yeah. I don't think I'll be able to catch the SpongeBob movie,
You
unfortunately.
know? Oh no, whatever shall we do?
Yeah. The Search for SquarePants. Yeah. So
Is that like the fifth movie they've done?
I don't keep track of
That no,
SpongeBob
that's
movies.
fair. That's fair. I was just asking a question.
Uh,
Feels like they've made like 5 or 6 of those things.
yeah, I mean they've done quite a bit of them. So I don't know where this one ranks. Where how many of these we've gotten, but yeah. So there's that out right now. What else is out right now that we have to talk about? But yeah, that's it. I'll think of some more stuff later. But there's also some streaming stuff, Netflix, everything like that. Like there's that movie I want to talk about, Left Handed Girl, that's on Netflix. I
Mm.
hear that's very good. Coming to the end of the year, time to make these best of lists. So I want to see as much stuff as I can before the year wraps up, and everything like that. We'll probably do a best of stream, probably first week of January. Do first week of January. We do that. So yeah. All that good stuff there. Well, maybe you should go see SpongeBob, man. Maybe SpongeBob will be on your list, man,
Oh my
uh,
god.
of best movies of the year.
If it
Uh,
is, if that is, that'll be a
yeah.
hell of a thing.
Mm. The thing is great. Is this thing on? Is the Will Arnett movie, and it's great. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
that's great
okay.
too. So Hunter, okay, he's seen the movie. And I like Will. Will Arnett's funny. I like Will Arnett. I liked him in Arrested Development. Will Arnett. He's pretty good in that. I haven't seen him in a minute. So yeah. And he also did a good Batman. I forgot he was Batman too. In the Lego Batman movie. So that's what we got. Future streams. Got this show, and then of course, as always, go ahead and rate somebody after this. Katney Whitney, she's on right now, playing the game. Playing a Little Nightmares there. Also got Cosmopolitics on right now. She's been on the show before. Political content streamer there. Also movie review. She's on a show called Movie Night Extravaganza. She's right now discussing. Let's see here. The Epstein files. There's some more Epstein files that dropped there.
Oh yeah, there's a whole heck of them.
A whole heck of them there. Some of your favorite people are in there, maybe. You know, you
Everybody's
know,
in there.
everybody's in there. So yeah. So she's discussing that. and a whole bunch of news there. So good people we can rate after this. Lucky Dog is on right now. Just seems like he's doing some just chatting right there, just chatting it up. Also Dante's on right now. And he's doing Clear Obscure Expedition 33, big winner at the Game Awards. Big huge
Mhm.
winner there. Shout out to congratulations to that team over at Claire Obscura, who made Claire Obscura Expedition 33. It's Sage, one of his favorite games, not even of this year, but of all time. Claire Obscura Expedition 33. He said it's the Final Fantasy 7 of this generation. So awesome there. Very good. You've played it, right?
Which game?
Claire Obscura Expedition 33.
I actually haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, man. I mean, yeah, so he said it's the yeah, like I said, best one of the best games ever.
Best in
Uh
show, apparently.
Yeah, and, it's, this generation's Final Fantasy 7, so high
I mean,
marks, high
yeah,
praise.
that is a very high bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome there. You know what, I think has anybody done, like, best games of the 21st century? Anybody's done that? The people
I
have
think
done the
that
movie.
might have been someone, at
Yeah.
least one list.
Okay. Well, better do the list now. I mean, like I said, we're not gonna make it, so might as well do it now, to the next century, so might as well do it now. All right, let's get into these reviews. Did you have a preference? What you want to start with first?
Uh, let's get Hedda out of the way.
Hedda? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get that away. Headed towards Hedda. All right.
Mhm.
I'll put my notes for this and go ahead and get started.
Yep.
All right, good stuff. Good. I saw this good Amazon Prime movie. Yeah, always got to check out some movies on streaming. Good to always do that there. I still have to check out that movie you reviewed on Amazon Prime. I didn't get around to. I've been meaning to. G20. I've been meaning to
Mm.
do that. Been meaning to do that. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right, people. So our first review of the day is going to be for a movie called Hedda. Hedda is a movie directed by Nia DaCosta there. Nia DaCosta, you know Nia DaCosta from such things as she did the Candyman film there. She also did the Marvels as well for the MCU. Here is a movie that she also directed there, and it is on streaming on Amazon Prime there. This movie starring Tessa Thompson as a titular character of a woman named Hedda Gabler there.
Mm.
And what is this movie about? Well, it's kind of pretty simple there a little bit to a
Mm.
degree. I mean, there's like this big party event going on in this very kind of old set 1950s England. Um, all these people come over to Hedda's house there to celebrate. And then one of the guests that come over to celebrate is her former lover. She's currently married now to a man. At the moment, her former lover is a woman's, and then her former lover and her husband are both competing for the same job. I think they're trying to be like they're competing to be a professor, right?
Yeah, it's professorship at
Professorship
a
there
university.
at a university, so they're both competing for that. So there's a lot of drama there, but that's not the only drama of the night. You have all these other people who it's like, did you ever see that movie Project X? Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah, way back.
It's like Project X mixed with like a little bit of like Bridgerton. It's like all this sex, all these people are fucking each other, people cheating on each other's wives,
Mhm.
people sleeping it's like kind of basically all this debauchery going
Yeah.
on this one night. And it's just basically almost like how's anybody gonna make it out of this night and what's kind of gonna happen. That's the setup you have here. And it's based on I see it's based on a stage drama there from
Yep.
1891. There's Herkin Isbin's
Mhm.
stage drama there. So it's been adapted there. I don't know how many other times it's been adapted. Uh,
Not that many, but this is probably one of the more recent this is by far the most recent adaptation. Everything else is usually it's a play.
mm,
Although it's been like mentioned or like I think BoJack Horseman did I think they did a same production of it.
oh,
There's like a
okay.
brief scene like they do it with the inmates who are like playing roles like in a prison, if I recall.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a blink or miss it. This one doesn't get brought up a lot.
Mm, okay. Interesting. All right. Do you know much about the play?
I did a bit of research before. I also wrote I decided to read the stage play a bit before watching this movie just to get fresh of what the differences are going to be because right from the get go, it's very different. This movie takes place in the 1950s. The original work took place in the 1890s or the early 20th century.
Mhm.
So, Hedda Gabler is considered. It was made by a Norwegian playwright, Henrik. Is considered one of the. It's considered basically a masterpiece in literary realism and this kind of drama.
Mm.
Uh, it's regarded as such because of the main character, Hedda, who usually when you talk about plays or things like this, it's there's usually a main character is usually the positive aspect of the character. Hedda in the play, as much as this movie, is not a good person. She is what was described as an anti-heroine. She
Mm.
is not the heroine of the story, even though she's the main character. A lot of the play focuses on similar elements of the movie, but the play focuses on her being married to George, her husband, and he's not. He's a good-natured man trying to do the best he can, and Hedda, being the wife, I'm sorry, the daughter of a general, she had higher expectations of her life, higher desires of her life, and when when basically a rival of George's who wants to go for the same university, uh, he comes into their life. She basically gets this idea to, well, I kind of want to manipulate. I want my life to be more focused and I don't want my life to be jeopardized. And I've never truly manipulated someone before. And that's a very dark, innate desire I've always kind of wanted. And she starts exploring that because she knew him from a previous romantic relationship. In the movie, the rival is Julian is sorry, not Julian, sorry, my bad. Uh Alert. In the original, he's called Alert, but in the movie, they call her Eileen. They make
Mm.
her into a woman basically in the movie.
Okay. Mm. And that's played by Nia Haas there,
Mhm,
who's, in this movie there. Yeah. So that's what you kinda have in the setup, and, like, things are kinda going crazier every night, and Tessa Thompson, who's
mhm.
the, Hunter said the movie's a bit Saltburny, and I love that. The shit gets messy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good comparison also, Saltburn.
Saltburn with a bit of, I think it's 2012's Great Gatsby with, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, with yeah,
A lot of
him
visual
and
motifs from it.
Tobey Maguire, yeah,
Yeah,
that
Tom
kind of
McGuire.
kind of thing there with that. I mean, Tessa Thompson, I always love to see Tessa Thompson. I loved her in a lot of things there, and she's pulling out her, British accent. We saw a little bit of that when she did it as Valkyrie in the Thor movies there and
Yeah.
the MCU. And she, kind of has to play. She's a difficult thing because this character is so kind of like, is she evil? Is she, kind of a victim in a sense? Is she maybe just both at the same time?
Mhm,
And kind of go through this whole movie and the way she's kind of playing things and you're kind of guessing like what is her end game, what is she, what is her ultimate goal here? Does she
mhm,
really, love this her former lover? Is she going to get back with her? Is she going to stick by her current
mhm,
husband there and advance his position? And it's kind of like this cat and mouse game that's going on
mhm,
between all these people and their true emotions and feelings. um I just don't think I was as into it
mhm.
throughout it as it was going on as much as I maybe should have been. What about you?
Yeah, so already from the trailers, it was very clear that this interpretation of the work was going to be vastly different. Not only because it takes place in a different time period, right from the get go, they have these lavish parties, these lavish situations, and yeah, as it kind of feels a bit Saltburny, a bit Great Gatsby from 2012, and this over extravagance. And I can't fault the cinematography on that, or the costuming, or all those aspects. But I think with it going that route, it misses the subtlety and its changes don't improve upon the original stage play. If anything, they distract from it. It
Mm,
becomes overly messy in a way that while the original one is like regarded so highly because of its precision and internal logic. Hedda is a character that is viewed in a modern sense, at least from the original play, as a very flawed individual to even a villain. She has a very internal logic. She doesn't make illogical standpoints. She doesn't. You understand what she's why she's doing these things, even though they do seem almost chaotic. They all almost seem counterproductive, but there is an internal logic. She is ultimately trying to manipulate someone a few people's fates. She's trying to take control of other people's lives in her hands, and in doing so, she creates chaos. And that chaos leads and bleeds into everything else that she's trying to control. That's what makes her both simultaneously a character you don't want to see succeed, but also are intrigued with. In the movie, say what you will about Tessa Thompson. I think she's just fine. She's okay here, but ultimately, these changes that they did for the story, the mess, the salt burniness of it, ultimately takes away from the almost certainty of those actions. And because it takes away from that certainty, it just kind of gets bogged down in its own overly messy nature. And
Mm,
it doesn't really leave a satisfy doesn't really even leave a satisfying ending.
mm. Did you think it's a case of I mean, all these people seem like kinda awful people, so I was like, "I don't really care what kinda happens to anybody here."
Yeah,
So
in the play, it's actually quite different. I can go into it if you want.
sure, yeah, go ahead, yeah, let me
In the play, George, like in the movie, is fairly stand up. He's even more stand up in the play when the manuscript is disappears during a drunken night. He immediately notices it and goes, "Oh, I'm going to return it," even though she's like, "Are they're going after the same thing you are? What are you doing?" He goes, "What's the right thing to do? I don't want to win by cheating. Like I if like if it's a better thing, it's a better thing." And Hedda can't stand that idea because that gets in the way of the machinations of her plan. Even though she wants him to succeed, she wants him to succeed of various merits. She wants to do it through her hand, not through anyone else's.
mm,
Um, your the rival, I mean, in the movie it's Eileen, but Eilert, they were originally her and Hedda were in a previous relationship. And it's hinted that he was kind of a partying mess. He got drunk a lot. He was very much so, but and he's sobering up for Thea. And so when he eventually falls to that and loses his manuscript, he's really seen more as a tragic figure, just trying to crawl his way back into doing something decent. He wants to make a masterpiece. He wants to do these things, and you kind of admire his pulling himself back from the brink. And Hedda tries to manipulate that aspect of it because you have then these stationary characters of people that have issues or flaws, but ultimately are trying to do what they believe is best. He even openly admits in the original play, he confides in Hedda and says, "I'm not competing after." It's a big reveal. "I'm not actually competing for the professorship. That's not actually what I want to do. I'm not. You're not going to be financially an issue with George. I'm just trying to make I want to make a academic study, and I want to make the sequel to my academic study that's even greater to prove that I can do it, but I'm not aiming for it." So that should be you can tell your husband that as a relief, as like a he doesn't have to worry about that aspect. I know he's going for it. And
mm,
Hedda, that goes against her plans, so it changes the mechanizations even further. It's a character study of someone falling more and more through their own machinations and their own desire to control the narrative of things and aspects until it eventually all comes tumbling down through their own actions. And they have in their head what they believe it's going to end. And then when it doesn't end in the ways that they want, she puts herself in honestly the worst predicament she could have ever been in. And that's what kind of makes the story very tragic and dark, but also interesting and kind of compelling. Well, this it because all the characters are not good, okay people, you kind of don't care when stuff starts happening to them. While in the play, because you kind of start to care and understand their ambitions and get to know them as characters, her plans interceding in the way just gets more. It feels more tense, and you want to know, oh, how's this going to go? With this, while I was watching this, I'm like, I could give a crap.
Mm. Um, Interesting. Yeah, because yeah, I mean, not say you can't watch a movie with bad people
Oh,
and get
no.
because there's movies with criminals and you can get invested
Sure.
in that
But
and
there's
they have
usually an endpoint to it. There's usually a at least a character has a guiding aspect to it, and you're at least kinda I mean, Cheeky Blinders is a show about
Peaky you mean Peaky Blinders?
Peaky Blinders, yeah, Peaky Blinders is a show I know, I don't know why. It's British, so I just said
Cheeky, yeah, cheeky
yeah,
mate.
Cheeky Mate. Yeah, Peaky Blinders. They're all criminals. They're all bad people, but they're also strange. They're written well enough that they're strangely compelling. There are characters within that actually do try to do like somewhat the right thing, even through bad means, and so they you kind of find them compelling. Similar in some aspects to some of the characters in Boardwalk Empire. You can have characters that are in they're not good people, but they're still fun and entertaining to watch. And I just never felt that here.
Mm. I think I mean,
Mhm.
everybody's gorgeous,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
from the
Like I
women
said,
to
the
the men.
costuming and cinematography is pretty solid.
Yeah, the costume is good and, Tessa Thompson, I mean, I could see this maybe being nominated for maybe best costuming there, and Tessa Thompson, I think she's obviously stunning, in it, and she comes into the movie, and I think she has somewhat of I mean, the way she kinda flows into every room there, the constant, kinda back and forth she has with certain people interesting as well. That's kind of an interesting aspect, but this whole kind of what they're fighting for and like this kind of being like, maybe the end of the world or not, it's like I just really wasn't that invested in it and invested what was kind of going on in it. Besides all the pretty kind of, glamour that was on it. And I just was like, I just kinda struggled, and that, I mean, it's more of a personal thing. I don't know, maybe somebody, obviously coming into this, would kinda go like, "No, I was into it all the way," and that's why I said kinda Bridgerton because it feels like, I don't know, maybe I haven't really watched enough of the show, to or seen enough of it to kind of go like, "Okay, this is kinda that drama aspect that, some people would really like and really enjoy," especially in like a, England, everybody has British accents, 1950s type setting, so that also automatically gives it like the sense of class and, sense of, poshness there. Yeah,
Mhm.
what do you kinda think there about that?
Again, I think the costuming is good. I think the cinematography is fine. I just think ultimately the script fails it,
Mm,
and the changes it makes to the original story do it no favors. Um, I think you also honestly there are movies in this era with the that honestly are just better watches. That
mm,
you could just watch that's better than this, especially for an interpretation of a old work that is considered a modern masterpiece in its time and even still highly regarded as a play. It's kind of sad to see that for all the eye candy and all the costuming and set dressing and period and it changing its period, it doesn't really benefit it truly. It never goes beyond what it's trying to adapt, and it never really finds its footing in a as a true adaptation of the work. It just
mm,
feels like a twist on a work that never quite forms its own identity.
mm. Well, I feel like we're going, yeah, kinda in circles, yeah, talking about some of the same things here,
Mm.
so, final thoughts, rating, Hedda.
Uh, I'm gonna give it a skip it.
Ooh, wow, okay, skip it.
It's
Alright.
not a bad movie. It's not necessarily a bad movie, but I just can't justify really watching it. There are better versions of this movie out there that have different subjects and hidden gems that you can watch that are kind of in a similar vein.
Mm. Okay, skip it. I'm not gonna be as harsh as
Mhm.
you. I still enjoyed some elements of the movie. I'd give it a stream it. There
That's
with that. I
fair.
mean, it's on Prime. You can watch it there. It's available. I think that's about good for what it is there.
Mm,
And yeah, I mean, I don't have any connection to the play. I've never seen it, the play before. I don't know of the original material, so I'm not really judging it based on that. I'm just judging it based on what I've seen here from it,
yeah,
and kind of all the things I've said prior.
right.
So yeah, that's just kind of my feeling, my thoughts on it there. But I mean, I do think the performances are good here. I think if you are going to see this
Mhm.
movie, for a main reason. I think Tessa Thompson's one of them. I think some of the direction by Nia Costa here is really
Mhm.
great, and I like her direction here, and even some of the writing here. So, yeah, I just give it a stream it.
Okay.
All right. So, one stream it and one skip it
Mhm.
for Hedda. Nice there on Amazon Prime.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see. I'll do a solo review real quick,
Okay.
and then we'll move on to another joint. We'll do Dust Bunny, then we'll move on to Avatar, Fire and Ash. There. All right, man. I really wish you got to see this, man. I think you, I think you would have liked it.
I
Uh,
probably will.
there, man. Good wine mom movie, man. Good wine mom movie. All right. Okay. All right, people. So our next review of the day is going to be for a movie I saw. Dust did not get a chance to see, but it's a movie called The Housemaid. The Housemaid is a movie here directed by Paul Feig. Paul Feig, who is known for doing such movies as he did Ghostbusters. He did that movie in 2016.
Mhm.
The movie that changed the whole culture, shifted the world. Maybe some people say there with that. He
Artificially, I would say.
Artificially, yeah. In an alternate universe where Ghostbusters 2016 didn't come out, man. What does that universe look like?
Pretty good,
But
honestly.
then he also did Spy, which I really love Spy a lot. It's one of my favorite comedies there. And then he also did Bridesmaids, which was a huge smash hit. And this is more with this movie, The Housemaid. It's more in his A Simple Favor kind of bag, or it's a
Yeah.
thriller kind of aspect there, which I did like. Simple Favor. He also did the sequel, Another Simple Favor, which I didn't see, but you guys did. You guys actually reviewed that movie
Yeah.
here, and you guys, you and Nick did not like that movie very much.
No.
So hopefully it's not another one of those. Hopefully when you see this, you go like, oh, there's just another Simple Favor there. Yeah, Hunter said the sequel is garbage. Yeah. I haven't seen the sequel, so I can't make a judgment on it. But yeah, I heard a lot.
When Hunter says something is garbage, you know it's garbage.
Yeah, I okay. It's on Amazon Prime, so maybe I'll check it out
Oh,
actually.
oh, oh, don't even bother, brother.
But what is going on in this movie? Well, you have Sydney Sweeney and you have Amanda Seyfried there. And Sydney Sweeney, she's fell on some hard times. You know, she's living in her car. You know, she's trying to look for some work. You know, she's bouncing around from job to job. And she applies to be the housemaid for Amanda Seyfried. She lives in this beautiful home with this perfect guy. He's handsome. He's tall. He makes a lot of money. He wears the tightest tank tops you ever will see, where you can his muscles are popping. It's like, man, this is perfect there. She applies for the job and she's thinking like, I'm not going to get it. They're going to look at my resume and they're going to see check my background and they're going to easily tell that I'm unqualified to do this job. But by the surprise of her, she gets a call back from Amanda Seyfried and says, "Hey, you got it, and I want you to come in today to start." And then when she starts her job, insanity ensues. There's these weird things that starts happening with Amanda Seyfried's character. She starts giving her contradictory information. She says, pick up her kid at this time. But when she gets there, she says, she already has a play date scheduled. So it's like, what's going on here? Why is she being so weird? Why is she all of a sudden switch has been flipped and she's kind of turned all kind of wild. And it's like throughout the movie, it's like, you're trying to figure these things out and ultimately where this is all going to lead to there. With this movie, this might be one of my favorite comedies of the year besides Naked Gun. I was laughing out loud a lot of
Oh, wow.
times in the theater there. And Hunter said bouncing around from job to job. Yeah,
Hey,
th-
man.
hey, there is a scene where she's in Sydney Sweeney's in a tank top and she's bouncing down the stairs. So there's there's a scene like that. And then yeah, so I had such a good time with it because this is a good kind of trashy thriller type thing. I mean, there's a lot of plot holes here, and there's a lot of things you can pick apart with this movie here about all the things that
I
kind of
mean,
happen in it.
plot's never been Paul Feig's strong suit.
That I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of true to an extent there. And
He's always been more of a scene director slash getting the right performance out of people.
Hunter says, while Amanda Seyfried's filmography is a bit spotty, she at least takes risks and chances, which I appreciate. Um,
Plus,
yeah,
she's got
so
those big old eyes.
she just has those big eyes. Yeah, she was the first big eyed girl before Ella Purnell. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So yeah, and It's like it because of Paul Feig, because of his comedic background, there's some segments of this movie where it almost feels like, are you basically doing like a parody of these type of movies, of these kind of suburban thriller type movies there? Did you ever see that? It almost felt like, did you ever see that movie with Kristen Bell, that Netflix movie? It's a movie called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window, and that movie was nothing but like a parody of these suburban kind of thriller movies. And I almost feel like there are
Mm.
certain scenes like you feels like you are kind of doing that here with it, and everything and like that. And I that kind of made me kind of like it a little bit. If that is kind of in the case of what he's doing, it kind of felt like a little bit of a parody and what he was doing there with that. Um,
Okay.
and this movie is based on a book. It's based on a book called From Frida McFadden, and it's like a series of book to my knowledge. So I don't know, maybe if this is successful, maybe we'll get a sequel there.
I mean,
Um,
that's it kinda felt like his previous movies, like, they were from a book as well, like a series of books, usually
mm,
trashy books too.
is A Simple Favor based on a book too?
I think it is.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But the way the movie ends off with this one, The Housemaid, it like it's some kind of a wild sequel, which is kind of also really funny,
Mm.
as well there. But yeah, I mean, so if you go into with that kind of knowledge that okay, maybe this is kind of supposed to be like a parody, maybe you'll enjoy it more than maybe looking at it for a more straightforward type thing. There with that. And speaking about, Hunter mentions Amanda Seyfried. She's really good in this. I really like Amanda Seyfried for the role she's kind of playing in this, and she's seems like she kind of gets a little bit of what she is, and she gets to have a little bit more fun, I think, than Sydney Sweeney. Because Sydney Sweeney seems like she's kind of just stuck in being like she's not from the country, but she's like a country mouse type thing where she has to be very meek and very reactive to what Amanda Seyfried is doing, and a lot of her relationship there with that. It doesn't leave her, I think, a lot of room to really do much with that. But I do like the play between the two of them. I do like that and enjoy them kind of going back and forth with each other. And then I didn't really speak much about the husband in this movie, who is the husband of Amanda Seyfried in this. Brandon Sinkler is his name there. So he plays the husband. He was in that movie. We just saw him recently. I don't know if you saw that movie. He was in that movie Drop. Did you ever see that?
No.
Okay, that was the woman with the phone when she kept getting those text messages
Oh
and then
god. Yeah, okay, I think I remember.
he was in that. So I mean, he kind of plays like, generic good looking guy for, most of the movie there and until something happens with him. He's okay. And then
Sure.
you also have another character who's the gardener who, I mean, he's pretty useless, honestly, throughout most of the movie. And he's a guy that, has the secret and he always just staring. He always just looking. It's like, bro, you gonna say something or not?
Is his
Uh,
name Red Herring?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
a little bit. He does a little. I mean, he really doesn't matter really much to the plot, actually. I mean, he doesn't really matter
Oh,
much.
I'm sure.
People might know him. He was the guy. He was in that film series that people were mad about on Netflix, 365 Days. Uh,
Oh, that movie, the series of movies.
yeah, he was that guy. So he's he was there. Um, yeah, I mean, so I can totally get somebody watching this movie hating it and not really liking it and going like, "This is fucking stupid." This is not enjoyable, but I had a good time with this. I really did. Like I said, I had a lot of fun with it. I was laughing. There are a lot of plot holes in this, and when it gets to the ending, you're gonna be scratching your head like, "But how did this happen? And how did that happen? And wait, why is she doing this?" And there's a lot of things that kind of will make you question that in it. Um, I know this movie's probably gonna get buried. I mean, we talked about it, me and Neil, because this movie obviously is coming at the same time as Avatar: Fire and Ash, and probably not a lot of people gonna see it. But I don't know, maybe there could be some counter programming going on. Like I said, this is a good trashy, wine mom type movie there. That maybe people can enjoy. I enjoyed it there. Maybe my inner self is a suburban wine mom. I don't know. So I would give it a Mm, like a high stream it, low tune in, somewhere around there,
You
with
being
that.
generous, brother.
There, man. But I mean, yeah, I say, man, go check it out, man. Let me let me know what you think of it.
Yeah.
Good old Housemaid there. It's kind of the same vibes I kind of got for when I watched A Simple Favor, that movie there. What I got watching that. Um, so yeah, that was my thoughts on the Housemaid there. All right. Very good there. Commit to a rating. High streaming a low tune. Commit to a man. Hunter says I like some trash, but Paul Fig makes me angry often.
Feig.
Uh, Paul Feig makes me angry often there.
He,
Uh, you gotta
Paul
let go of
Feig is
that
a
anger, Hunter.
very yeah, Paul Feig is a very specific director with a very specific tone that he goes for. You know a Paul Feig movie when you see it because sometimes he'll do a movie and you go, "Okay, that was not bad. It's kinda sort of out there, but there's a lot of fun." Paul Feig is the best description I've heard of Paul Feig's directing style is he's like a he's like a high school director, theater director, and he's just getting a bunch of people on stage and he's just letting them have fun and he only corralling them every once in a while. And you're either down for a bunch of theater kids doing dumb crap or you don't want to deal with that.
Mm. The last one I didn't see that. That was also on streaming, right?
Oh
Jackpot,
god, yeah, Jackpot was the that was with
John Cena, Aquafina.
Aquafina and John Cena.
Yeah.
Garbage, absolute garbage. I think
Uh,
honestly after Ghostbusters 2016, he has stopped giving a crap.
well, after Ghostbusters, that's when he made A Simple Favor, which I like
That's like
that.
maybe his last like decent movie.
Yeah, because after A Simple Favor, so he did Last Christmas. I didn't see that movie. That was a movie with
Yeah.
the woman from Game of Thrones,
Mhm.
Amelia Clark and Henry Golding. Was that? But she had like she was dead or something. She had cancer or something.
Yeah,
Um,
you know what? I
or
like
no, he
Amelia.
had cancer or
Yeah,
something. I
he had
forgot.
cancer or whatever. I like Amelia Clark. I like her as a person, but they need to stop giving her that poor girl. She doesn't have a lot of acting range.
You don't think so?
No, she does not. She does not
uh,
have a lot of acting range. She's a very sweet girl. She honestly is a very sweet girl. But that girl does not have acting range. And yeah, Last Christmas sucks too. Look, most of Paul Feig's stuff has sucked post 2016. The only decent one has been A Simple Favor. And
mm,
that's the best he's given. Everything else has been kind of not good.
mm, yeah. But yeah, I like. I mean, it's not my favorite Paul Feig thing ever. I
Yeah,
mean, this
I
movie,
get you.
but Spy. I love Spy. Spy is like one of my favorite comedies. I love
Again,
Spy.
when he does okay, he does pretty solid, but mm,
Mm, yeah, and Brides. I never was really that big into Bridesmaids. I
no.
thought Bridesmaids was okay. I never.
Bridesmaids, it was, the script was written by Tina Fey, and I forget who else.
It's Kristen Wiig and
Kristen Wiig, sorry.
Annie Mullo.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig and Annie Mello. I think she also helped on whatever script, but that one very much is a female-driven comedy. A lot of the jokes in that
Like
movie.
Hangover. It's trying to be like
Yeah,
Hangover.
basically The Hangover. It is very much a very specific demographic. A lot of jokes are made specifically for women.
Mm.
And that's the audience it went for, and from the women
It was
that I know
successful. It
who've
was
seen it.
huge.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
no, from the women I know, it was like it was laugh out loud, and
yeah,
as a guy, I'm just kinda like, I don't it's okay, alright, but
yeah.
there are women in the theater, they were howling, howling at how funny it was,
Uh,
especially when, like,
oh,
the
she was nominated for this? I
Mhm.
didn't.
Yeah, and it was
Uh,
a big deal.
McCarthy and she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for this?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, she was. That was one of her breakout roles.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
remember
that was one
that.
of her breakout roles.
Damn, okay. Wow, at the 84th Academy Award. Who else was nominated with her? Best Supporting so who else was this? Damn. 'Cause it was Octavia Spencer. That's the year she won for The Help, who coincidentally enough, that's Melissa McCarthy. I think they're best friends, her and Melissa McCarthy. Um, yeah, okay. Alright, yeah. This was kind of a weak year. The Artist one? Oh, this was the year the best picture was The Artist, and then Midnight in Paris, was also nominated.
Mhm.
Mm, yeah, The Artist, yeah, okay.
I've
But
s I've rewatched The Artist, like, once. It's still a good movie, it's just not it's not like
kinda gimmicky a little bit.
yeah, kinda gimmicky, but I do my favorite scene in it is the sound scene when he's having a nightmare.
Mm.
That is possibly one of my favorite, scenes, and there are great moments in the movie. It's a lot of old school art in it, and it's clearly a love letter to that time of cinema. It's solid, but, like, I just is it rewatchable? Not really.
Yeah, I remember somebody made a joke about it, like, the next Oscars, like, "Man, you see these people everywhere now." You
Mhm.
know, like, these people from this movie, the artist is like, you never talk about that movie ever again, but, yeah. So, but, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was my thoughts, yeah, on, good old Housemaid there. Alright, let's do this Dust Bunny, man. Good old Dust Bunny. Let's dust these bunnies,
Just
man.
these bunnies.
Good old there, dust bunnies, man. Ah, man.
Mhm.
Good stuff there. All right, let's get into this. So, our next review of the day is going to be for a film called Dust Bunny. Dust Bunny is a movie directed by Brian Fuller, written and directed by Brian Fuller. Brian Fuller, people might know him. He's done TV. He's been a showrunner there, creating television series. He did Pushing Daisies, which I
Mhm.
was a fan of. I like Pushing Daisies quite a bit there. He
Yeah.
also did Hannibal, which I really loved a lot. So here is his first feature film that he's doing. So he's transitioning from film into I mean from television into
Mhm.
film there. So I was excited when I heard that. I was like, oh, okay, I love his work on TV. Let's see what he does with the movie.
Mhm.
And his movie here is The Dust Bunny here, starring Mads Mikkelsen here. And what is this story about? Well, this little girl here, who her family, she has a weird kind of thing that keeps happening where her family keeps getting eaten by monsters, she believes there.
Mhm.
And then she enlists the help of Mads Mikkelsen, who she sees that is a professional assassin. And she goes like, "Well, you're the only person that can help me, and you're the person that can kill these monsters that keep killing my family." There, so she hires him there, and kind of these hijinks ensue, I will say, when that kind of happens because of the organization that Mads Mikkelsen works for. You have all these people who are investigating this girl because all these families keep going missing. It's like, okay, you on your third family, and they've gone missing. Like, okay, what the hell is happening in this house here? And it kind of has a like people have compared this like Leon the Professional. Obviously, when you have like a little girl and like an assassin, everybody's always going to say Leon the Professional is always going to be a big thing in here. Um, and it very much also has like this visual motif of you see Brian Fuller kind of stuff, the really bright colors that really pop there, the kind of very quirky, kind of interesting characters that you have here as well. Very reminiscent of something like he did with Pushing Daisies, as
Yeah.
well with that, which kind of was a big thing is there. Which so it's kind of like this. I think he's kind of described as like a family horror film, I guess, to a degree, which I kind of agree with it. Yeah,
Kind of, yeah.
um, and this movie, it is R-rated, I believe. It is
Mhm.
R-rated. I'm not sure if it needed to be R-rated per se, but I mean, because that's not really a whole lot of strong language, is there? Like people
No,
don't.
not really any strong language. There's a lot of implied and open, like, deaths that happen in this.
Yeah. But what were your thoughts, man? Dust Bunny.
Um, I Yeah, go ahead. Mads
No.
Mikkelsen.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah. Hunter says Mads Mikkelsen should be a bigger deal. He's an amazing effing actor there. Another Round is an underrated flick. I still have
he
to
is
see
a
Another Round.
fantastic actor. Like,
Yeah.
he always gives really great performances no matter what he is, and I don't give it for this. Him and the actress who plays the character Aurora are basically the linchpins of this whole movie. They're really
Mm,
what's holding it up. Um, I loved, Pushing Up Daisies. I think it was one of the most inventive, interesting, murder mystery shows that I'd
mm,
seen, especially even at that time, and I'm still sore that they canceled it after season 2. I would have liked to have seen a full-on conclusion to it, at least another season or 2, at least a 4-season wrap-up, uh, but, at least they did give, like, sort of a wrap-up for season 2. Like, characters kind of have their little ends and but yeah, no, it really was ahead of its time, and, at least Hannibal got to wrap up and do its thing, and so that was kind of nice, and he really translates a lot of Pushing Up Daisies to this. But he also takes a lot of aspects of other movies he's worked on, mostly from his latter. I won't even say. Oh gosh, I want his later like American Gods slash Star Trek Discovery, which I'm not a fan of Star Trek Discovery. I'm not a fan of the lighting and the way they do it, but it's it's a frustrating mix because there's some times that feel really kind of inventive and interesting in this movie, and then other times where it goes a little too cartoony and a little too over the top, and the tone kind of doesn't quite get balanced in this. But I do appreciate that Mads Mikkelsen and at least is able to be consistent as a character. So he at least is a grounding for an otherwise very ungrounded story and premise.
Mm, okay. Oh, Hunter says, by the way, Fuller did say earlier this week, that season 3 of Pushing Daisies is in the work. Oh, interesting.
Fantastic. Years,
Okay.
years, like 20 years later.
Okay, I did not know that. Thank you for that
Dang. All
information.
right. Yeah. All right.
Thank you. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, I was excited to see this, to see what offering Brian Fuller would have in his kind of first, feature film there, his directorial debut. I wouldn't say I came away going like, wow, this is, one of the best things I've seen this year. It's, and so like I said, a little something, it's kind of more like what he did with Pushing Daisy, with a little kind of like this bright kind of colors, but with this kind of dark underbelly with it, with this kind of serious
Yeah.
subject dealing with murder, dealing with
Almost pseudo Tim Burton esque,
Tim Burton-esque. Yeah, you could say that as well. Very much how
but he
he
was
kind
very
of
distinctive in his style. It was very much bright colors over a saturation. It was very distinct.
um and I'm reading that a lot of his inspirations for this movie, E.T., Poltergeist, Goonies, Gremlins,
I can see
uh
Gremlins, especially.
And you mentioned like the two leads here. So you have Mads Mikkelsen here, and you
Mhm.
have the little girl who plays Aurora, Sophie Salone. They really are. I mean, they're the main things about this movie,
Yeah.
right? They're the things kind of holding this movie up, like you said. And I think they do work really well together, and I think they are able to bounce off each other really well. I think Mads Mikkelsen, I mean, he could probably act against anybody and make it pretty great
I
there. I
mean, he
think
can act against a cardboard box, and that cardboard box would get Best Supporter nomination.
Probably there. And this, this little girl who you think like, what she's dealing with is, does she just have a lot of trauma that she can't process? So that's what,
Yeah.
is kind of going on there. And
Which the
and
movie
so
treats it like that, and I was totally fine if that was the direction they went with it.
yeah. And it kind of gets a little repetitive in the movie there, of like, constantly talking about the monsters, constantly like, what are we gonna do about the monsters? And her kind of going like, no, the monster's in the bed and it's under the floors and it's here and it's there. Like they bring it up so many different
Oh, yeah,
times
it's
there.
underneath the floor bed, the floorboards.
Yeah, it's just like,
Don't
okay,
step on them.
don't step on the floor, like that kind of gets a little repetitive after the while there. It does, but the whole kind of the way the story is, because at first it's kind of like you think it's just your simple assassin lone wolf kind of cub story here, and I do appreciate the more fantastical elements coming in to kind of kind of mix things up a little bit and shake things up, because you've seen that so much already with the whole kind of lone wolf and cub type assassin thing going like, oh, I'm gonna, this little girl is gonna make sure I, bring out the heart of gold in me, and I'm gonna be a good guy. You've seen a lot of that, before in other movies. So I think the whole fantastical elements, the fantasy elements, the fantasy horror elements do kind of mix things up and shake things up in the movie, which I do like, and I do appreciate there. And the fact with, the little girl, like when she's in her apartment there, she kind of, like I said, she's scared to touch the floorboard. She rides
Mhm,
around using like a paddle on top of like a hippopotamus, like this figure kind of a hippopotamus there. I thought
mhm.
that was kind of cute and kind of a little funny there, that she did that. Um, but yeah, so in the supporting cast here, you also have a good supporting cast. A lot of
Mhm.
other kind of actors. You have David Dale Melchin who comes in for a little bit in
For a
there.
little bit, I was happy to see him. I was like, "Oh," and then
Yeah,
he's
M
gone.
Bison. Yeah, he's gonna be M
Yeah.
Bison there.
You know what, actually? Legit, I think he actually will make if he buffs up, he'll actually be a very good looking, M. Bison.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see with that, with him in that Street Fighter movie. Then you also have Sigourney Weaver, who's come in this as well, who's like the boss of Mads Mikkelsen's character. It's always good to see Sigourney
I
Weaver.
mean, yeah, she's a class act.
Always good to see her. And she has some fun bits in the movie as
She
well.
does,
There.
especially when she's just yelling at Mads.
Yeah.
Just yelling at him. It's like, "Do this thing, do contract. I don't have time for this." And I'm like, "Oh god."
Then you also have another actress who comes in who plays like an FBI agent. This Sheila Ateen,
Team.
who comes in this very striking looking woman there as well.
She is, I believe she would debuted in Shakespeare's Globe.
Okay,
That was
interesting.
like that was but yeah, she's been in a few movies.
Woman King, she was in that.
Yeah, Woman King, a few other things. She is a very striking woman. Uh, so, it's kind of like, "Oh, well, you're in this movie, okay."
Yeah, and her look as the way she's dressed also fits kind of the
Yeah.
look of the movie. They're also very distinctive kind of look there as far as
Mhm,
costume goes. Um, yeah, I wouldn't say I was in love with this movie, but I thought this movie was okay. Was I a little, I guess, let down by it being like, oh, it's from Brian Fuller and maybe his directorial debut. Maybe I was a little let down there from that. In terms of that, maybe.
mhm.
Do you think that's how you felt a little bit with it, or
Yeah, I it's never easy going from television to movies and vice versa. Because 'cause they're 2 different environments that require 2 different things. Very different, ways to shoot, way to write a script, way to get performances out of actors, different schedulings, different, the different styles. I think what works in his television works didn't quite carry through into this, but I didn't think it was a waste either. I think there are some elements of, dare I say, even fun in this, but
that scene is
it
fun
yeah,
too.
yeah,
That
yeah, dare
scene,
I say fun and some
yeah,
cheeky humor and some nice humor here and there along with it. Uh, what he does, that you can see paralleling his almost Hannibal-esque and his, Pushing Daisies, a lot closer to Pushing Daisies, honestly, with this than, with Hannibal. You do
yeah.
get to see a little more of that, comedic aspect to it or a little dark humor to it, and that does work. It just kinda prolongs and goes a little longer than I would have liked, and by the time we get to the wrap up of it, you were like, "Oh, yeah, that's what I figured." And
Mm,
then when the CGI thing shows up, you're like, "Oh, that could have maybe used some time in the oven,
mm,
effects
yeah.
wise." Yeah. But I didn't hate this movie at all. Um, for a first time, I think he did not bad, all things considered, and, honestly, I'd probably just give it a stream it.
Mm. Just streaming. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. I had some fun with it. So it's probably high stream it, low tune in.
Okay. Well, you just did the same thing I did with
Yeah.
the housemaid there. Your Hunter's not
Yeah.
gonna like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
whatever.
yeah. Brian Fuller needs to get more at bats in terms of film. Yeah, I think still
No,
love
no,
him to
yeah,
see him
yeah.
do movies. Judge Dredd. I don't know if I'd see
I
him
know,
doing Judge
I
Dredd.
don't know
Dredd.
Judge Dredd. That's a little too out of his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know if I want to see him do that. But yeah, yeah, I still would want to see him do movies, and still make movies. And this had a very, I mean, it's a pretty small release for this movie, Dust
yeah.
Bunny. I don't know how much money it's going to end up making.
I mean,
And I
so
don't know.
far it's only made like almost 400,000.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's like no
Um,
promotion for it.
yeah, that's true. There's just no promotion for it. I don't
If we
know.
weren't reviewing this right now, most people, I mean, even still, probably would have been like, What? Dust Bunny?
Yeah,
What?"
yeah. Even me, I was like, I saw it on the app of AMC. I was like,
Yeah,
Dust Bunny, and I kind
Dust
of
Bunny.
was like,
What is this? Oh,
and then
Brian
somebody
Fuller.
Brian Fuller, I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll go see it because Brian Fuller made it." I was like, "Oh, okay." That's the kind of thing that brought me to the movie was because Brian Fuller was in it. But yeah, so I don't, not a lot of people are gonna see this, but yeah, I still love him to do movies, and I think, it still has I'd see he still has a very signature style and signature flavor. That is, I think, much needed in film and television. And like I said, there's still really great things to appreciate and like about this movie. I just wasn't really in love with it, and I think that it has some issues there. like you said, blending the tones together. I think it's kind of very repetitive in nature there with a lot of things kind of going on there. I think that, but kind of blending like this story of like combining this kind of fantasy Tim Burton-esque kind of thing
Yeah.
with this assassin type story. I think that that's interesting, and I think the concept of like a child's monster under the bed and kind of you're bringing in your own adult brain, real world aspect of that mixed with like this little girl's kind of childlike vision of the world, how she kind of sees things.
Mhm.
I think that's interesting. And I think it's somewhat interesting how they play it out, but I just don't think altogether it really works as a full package. And I agree with you, and I'd give it a stream it. I give it a high stream it, but
Mhm.
I also give it a stream it there.
Yeah.
Um, Hunter said, "I give it. I think, given the dark nature of it, he could handle it." Dusk is right though. Making the jump from TV to film is like making the jump from indie film to blockbuster. Very hard transition for most. Yeah, some people can do it. Some people can do it.
Some
Some
people
people,
can, but that's not
yeah,
a very common thing.
yeah. Some people can. But that was our review. Two
Yeah.
streamings for Dust Bunny. Yeah. See if
Mhm.
you can. If
Yeah,
it's in
if you can
theaters.
get it in there, why not?
Yeah. Yeah. If
Support
you
the
don't
official
support this,
release.
you're gonna get Pushing Days in season 3.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
So it's better make $500 million. So you're gonna
All
do
in one
that.
night.
All right, people. We got one last review. Then we're gonna head out of here. Cosmopolitics. Cosmopolitics is still on. Dante, he's still on there. Um, Dante, he's playing that Clay Obscure Expedition
Hunter, you're
33.
the only one who even remembers the house with a clock in its walls.
This kind of sounds like the House of the Cloud. I hope Hollywood keeps taking swings in terms of kids and horror slash fantasy because there's a lot of potential in that genre. Yeah, the House with the Clock in the Wall. Wasn't that the Eli Roth? He directed that, right? I didn't even see
Yes,
that yet.
surprisingly enough, that is like Roth's only like kid friendly movie, and that Jack Black in it too.
Yeah, Jack Black and Kate Blanchett, right?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, he would get Kate Blanchett later in
Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Yeah. So maybe she likes working with Eli Roth, I guess.
Well, I mean, hey, she said it herself with when it came to Borderlands. She literally thank God that he picked up the phone because she was like, I was going stir crazy and I
Yeah.
just needed something to do.
She couldn't take those trips to Epstein Island no more.
No, I
Yeah.
know she couldn't.
She's going straight crazy. All right. So yeah, move on to Avatar here. You got some good people still on. We could raid after this. All right, let me pull my notes, man. I just saw it, just fresh, man.
Hmm.
It's fresh. Did you see it today or you saw it yesterday?
I saw it yesterday,
Oh, I saw it yesterday. Okay.
like the
Yeah.
midnight premiere.
Ooh, midnight. So you didn't get home till what, like
No, I didn't get home till
3 a.m.,
late.
3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah, but I was at a theater nearby, so it was only like 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I walked in the theater, it was daytime, sun was out, I came out, shit was dark.
Ah,
And I was like, "Man."
yeah, it
I
gets
mean,
dark fast now. So if you walk in on a 2 p.m., it's gonna be night when you come out.
all right, people, let's get into this. So, our last review of the day is going to be for the movie Avatar:
Mhm.
Fire and Ash. This is the third movie in the Avatar series, directed and created by James Cameron there. This big sci-fi epic. What is going on in this one? This movie that's over 3 hours long.
Mm.
There. What is going on in this movie? Well, after the events of the second film there, and we're going to be spoiling the second film. We're going to be getting the details of that a little bit. If people haven't seen the second film, then I recommend checking it out, I guess, and coming back to this review. But so in this movie, so there's still the Sully family is still reeling from the death of the eldest son there. They're still reeling from the events of that kind of going on. And I don't know, do you know how long this is supposed to be? Is it supposed to be like a week or so or a couple
This is
weeks?
like, yeah, like a week or two. It's not
Okay.
long at all. It's
The
basically right after the events of the second movie.
Yeah, it's like basically, yeah. So it's like right after the events of what happened in the second one. The whole family's still reeling from that. You still have Stephen Lang in this film there that's still chasing them. They're still after the Sullys. He still wants Jake because he is a traitor to the human race of what he did in the first film. So there's still that element of it. You still have the humans who they will not give up. Humans, they still want Pandora. They want all the resources of Pandora. They want to colonize
I
the
mean,
planet.
the
Uh,
humans can just keep doing this indefinitely.
Basically, I mean, it's just like they're not gonna run out of humans, I guess. So it's like, unless I don't know, maybe in another Avatar, the Avatars people are going, the Navi are going like, okay, we gotta take the fight to them, I guess.
Sure,
Uh,
okay.
sure. I mean, because like you said, this kind of could just keep going. You bring up that point, I'm gonna bring up later in my review of it, and how I feel about this movie. But yeah, so that's still an element of here, but you have a new group of Na'vi who we've not seen before in these movies, the Ash people here. And the Ash people are led by a character called, which this person mentioned here, Elaine Fisher there, Varang there. Is that how you say it?
Farang,
Varang,
Varang, it doesn't matter.
who's played by Una Chaplin there, who's like this leader of the Ash people there. She actually looks a lot like that woman who was in The Penguin. She
Mm,
looks a lot like her.
I can see
Um,
that.
yeah, so she's like the leader of these people, and she's like this very kind of ferocious, kind of vicious leader there in a sense there, and it almost makes me wish. I wish the movie, instead of including the humans, because we've seen the humans now for 2 movies as the
Yeah,
villains, we focus more on these people and their ways because they have a different customs and ways, of we've seen differently from the Navi people, from the
yeah,
other Navi people, even with the water people that we saw in the second movie. We see that they're still very much religious, very much, believing in the God
mhm.
and, the
Mother Planet, basically.
mother planet, Awa, things like that.
Just
You
in,
know,
like, the water and the life that it provides instead of the trees and all this, and Farang
yeah,
and her people are like, "Let it all burn, baby."
pretty much. I mean, yeah,
Like,
that
nature requires cleansing.
mm. So it's a
Like,
very different aspect of the
yeah,
people we have not
it's still
seen.
a worship of nature. It's just you need to it can't just keep growing forever. There needs to be a cleansing at certain points
Mm,
because ash renews.
yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I wish they explored that more with that. But you see those are a new group of Navi there with those people. And then there's an interesting aspect that comes on with the boy Spider there, who is the son of the Stephen Lang character. There's something interesting that happens with him that's like, okay, this could be potentially dangerous for the Navi people. But it could potentially be a great thing for the human race there for their attempts to colonize the planet of Pandora. So he becomes very valuable, and potentially an asset. He's like, okay, this guy can be, so people kind of want him as
It is by
well.
far the most, interesting element of the movie.
Yeah. So Dusk, what are your thoughts here, man? Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Well, this is, Dances with Wolves 3. It's the same thing that we've done before. Some of the elements have changed, but ultimately, this is a film about just how much civilization kinda sucks, humanity sucks, and it's just all about that rejection of humanity and civilization for people for just it's just like, "Oh, how dare you come from this bad world that you're ruining all this, and how dare you?" And then they kinda hide it over the nature of, "Oh, it's the family and Mother Earth and this," and I have the same problems I've had with the first movie, with the same problems I had with the second, that has also fallen on this movie.
Mm.
It's just the same story, same type, same, situation. I'm gonna give the same thing I did for the last one. The visuals are groundbreaking and incredible. Genuinely best in the business.
Mm.
Fascinating. It's a roller coaster ride. Uh, if I wasn't looking at the Wikipedia page right now for the cast, I couldn't tell you who was who and their names, except for Stephen Lang and Jake Sully. Jake Sully.
Oh yeah. I mean,
And,
they say his
Zoe
name a lot.
they do. So I can know that name. And Natiri, aka Zoe Saldana. That
Mm.
and Spider. That's about it.
Mm.
Everyone else, you just go, it's the same thing, man. And the most interesting aspect of this movie comes with Spider.
Mm.
Spider's this interesting bridge. Like, okay, finally, we're gonna do something a little bit more interesting with the humans and go a little bit more interesting with this. And they're like, a little, and then we're just gonna be stupid again and have human beings just be really dumb. And
Mm.
then it just goes back. There's a big battle at the very end, and then there's Then we compromise, and then the humans, and then you gotta choose sides of who's family and who's not, and then it's back to, like, space. It's like watching a TV show where every episode has to go back to the status quo.
It's gotta reset. Uh, yeah, I kinda feel now that this is the 3rd movie, that we've got now, and I
Yeah.
think I heard James Cameron, he just came out and
He
said
wants
that
4 and 5, baby.
well, he wants 4 and 5, but he also says, like, well, he's like, "Well, I don't wanna do these movies forever, and I wanna kinda move on eventually and, maybe take a break from doing these movies." Um,
Mhm.
and, the 2nd one coming out, I mean, there had been such a long gap between the
Yes.
1st and the 2nd one,
Huge gap.
uh, over a 10-year gap. So it's kinda like when it came back, it was like, "Oh, right, these movies, okay." Um, and like you said, now that this is like it's been 3 years since the 2nd one, you are starting to notice a lot of similarities between both these movies. Like you mentioned all these elements before.
Mhm.
There's a big battle at the end. It's nature versus, people and big, military equipment and everything like that, which is gonna win out. Take a big
It
guess.
is beat for beat the same movie made 3 times.
Yeah, and then even, like, watching this movie, and I even just played the trailer. I was even looking at this trailer and watching the movie going like, "Wait a minute, am I
No, this is the
hold"
second movie you were playing, and I thought that was the joke.
Yeah, I was like, "Wait," I was like, even watching, I was like, "Wait a second, are they playing at Way of Water? Oh, no, this is still the this is still the Fire and Ash movie," because it's
Yeah,
like,
they're just playing elements from The Way of Water.
it's like, it's kinda so similar to what's going on here. I was like,
Yeah.
"What's there's not really much big difference here." And I mean, if you're really into these characters and into the story there, I mean, the theater I was in, there was people sitting some many seats down from me. I guess I ran into like the biggest Avatar fans in the world. They were clapping and all the big moments. They were jumping up in their seat. I was like, holy shit, this might be the biggest Avatar fans in the whole fucking world right here. They were really into it. They really loved it. And they were really kind of enjoying it. But yeah, just for me, like, it kinda makes me wanna go back to watch Way of Water again because, like, how similar was it? Um, you have the stuff with the Sigourney Weaver character where her thing of we even talked about this even reviewing the 2nd movie of how she's, like, becoming almost like this Deus Ex Machina goddess type figure and all the things that she can do, and there's something that she does in this that just works, that's pretty similar. Then the whole stuff with, Zoe Saldana's character, she has a little bit of an interesting arc, I think, of, like, overcoming this anger that she has, now that
Oh,
she's
yeah.
lost her child.
By the
And then,
second movie, she was just basically a beast in anger.
yeah, and I thought that was kinda interesting coming into this one, how she's gonna overcome that, and then also how the Una Chaplin character, how she's such a mirror of what, Zoe Saldana's character is, and I think they should've maybe I mean, I don't wanna tell James Cameron, I mean, he obviously knows it, I mean, but I think it was just more interesting for me to watch, like, that dynamic, and I wish how, like, um, Jake has his nemesis with the
With
Stephen
Steve
Lang character, Quaritch.
Mhm.
I wish, she has her own nemesis kind of character
Yeah.
with Una Chaplin and
She's
Varang.
basically the antithesis of she's the antithesis of everything that Zoe Saldana's, character was in the first movie. Zoe Saldana, she was the daughter of the chief and chiefess, and she loved the big tree, the nature of the tree. Well, who's the bigger antithesis of someone who burns that shit down, lives in a
Yeah.
volcano, who cares about fire? She's
Mm.
basically the negative but, this isn't deep. These movies aren't deep. She's the negative aspect, to Zoe Saldana's character, Nairi. It's the same
Yeah.
thing with, Jake Sully nemesis being Steve Lang, who is the polar opposite of what he became. He started off being similar to Steve Lang and then eventually diverted and changed.
Mm.
That
And
yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. I
No,
don't
they're
mean
reflections of each other. That's all I was gonna say.
yeah. And I mean, and Stephen Lang, I mean, like I said, now that I mean, this recurring villain, he's showing up in his third one. He's getting less intimidating every movie,
Yeah.
you know? And then this movie and I like Stephen Lang, and, and I think he's a
But the
good
dude's
actor,
73.
and he looks good. I mean,
Oh,
good looking
yeah.
and he was just in, Sisu. He was just in Sisu 2,
Yeah.
and he's very intimidating in Sisu 2, and everything
Yeah.
like that. But it's just kinda like, man, you got your ass kicked the last 2 movies. I don't think this 3rd movie is gonna be any that different, so I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not really posing that much of a threat anymore, I feel like. Um, and, they do the whole there's a little bit of a dynamic with him, and like I said, he has the son Spider, and then also, again, the interesting thing with him that, they kinda play with, but I don't think they fully go
Mhm.
into is that the fact that he has the memories of the human version,
Of his
Stephen Lang's
human
character.
self.
Yeah, but, obviously he's not, him there, so it's
He's not
like,
the same guy anymore.
so there's some kinda interesting thing there, but they don't go that deep into it. Again, this is a big movie. There's a lot of different moving things they have to kinda move around the board.
Dude,
A
this
lot of
movie's
it
3 hours. You think they couldn't have fit that in?
yeah, a lot of kinda shifting pieces there. A lot of
A
it's the
lot of this
same
is
kind of
spectacle.
spectacle, shifting pieces because it's like even like I said, I mean, it's the same kind of shit of like they get kidnapped, they rescue the person from getting kidnapped, then they get kidnapped again, and they got to rescue the other. I was like, what the fuck? I mean,
Mhm.
like I was like, come on, man. I mean, like this is kind of getting a little ridiculous, man. Um, and it's Zoe Saldana, not Zoe Kravitz. See,
Yeah.
Hunter don't know what the fuck he talking. Mix up his black woman. That's what we talking about, Hunter. And then Sage from Random Shooty said, I came back. All I heard was these movies aren't deep. I knew you were talking about Avatar
Mhm.
there. And then Hunter also said, while I never have been a fan of these films, I think it needs to be studied how bad Sam Worthington is in everything. Man on the Ledge, Clash, Wrath of Titans, just a garbage actor. I think
He's
maybe
fine.
he sort of works in these movies. I mean, the only movie I've seen he's been really good in was a movie called The Debt. There was
Mm,
that movie. It was a movie with him and Helen Mirren, Jessica Chastain. His kind of stoic nature works in the movie like that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think he's like the best actor in the world or anything like that. I think he doesn't blow me away or anything.
No.
Um, but yeah, I mean, these movies, I mean, like you mentioned before, gorgeous films, gorgeous, beautiful.
Mhm.
And if you are gonna see this, see it in the best possible way. Go to your movie theater that has the biggest screen, see it in IMAX, see it in IMAX 3D. I have to admit, I was getting a little uncomfortable wearing those glasses for that long. I mean,
Mhm.
3 hours there. But yeah, so that kind of was a thing. But yeah, if you are going to see this in the best screen possible, I was listening to a review. It was from a critic, Christy. She does a channel there called Breakfast All Day, and she kind of compared it to how like when you go buy a new TV and you go to Best Buy or Target and like there's like a movie playing
Yes.
on the TV. And you just
Yes.
watching it to show it, and they're just playing on the TV to show you like the
Look at all
visuals
these
of it.
colors. Look at all the things, all the details.
Yeah, it's kinda like this is a this is like a movie like that, that just would be playing on the TV, at a Target or Best Buy or something like that, and you just kinda be watching it, and, I appreciate the advancement, the technological advancements that this movie has made for film and everything like that. I respect that with it. Yes, I get that these stories are not the deepest stories, and a lot of big blockbuster movies are not always the deepest stories either. Um, and I think it has a lot more going for it than maybe some other big blockbuster movies, but I guess that's not saying much. I mean, what are your thoughts there?
I man, like I keep saying, this movie, it has all the time in the world to tell its story. It's had 3 collectively, this series has had 9 hours to tell its story. 9 hours to tell its story. Here's another James Cameron movie. The first Terminator, second Terminator came out. It's like maybe an hour and 20 minutes. So much happens in them, and that's the extended cut, by the way. An hour 20, hour 30. So much more happens in that movie, and it's so much more of a satisfying ending to this. He's made other movies, Aliens, about same length, 110, 113 minutes. And that's the extended version. That guy can do a lot with a little. I've seen Abyss. That one's pretty solid. That's when the got his career started. He almost killed his actors for it. The guy's always been fascinated with water. He's a very good technical director. No one could deny that. He is a technically great director. But these movies, he's not a writer. He's written scripts. Don't get me wrong. He's written scripts, and other people have used his scripts in movies. And when you see those movies, you realize it's the director and the actors who directs those actors, because a lot of his scripts are workmanlike. They're very bare bones. They're very A to B, not very conventional dialogue. They're very segmented, very structured, because he's a very structured kind of a guy. He's very good at that. These
mm,
movies just technically are impressive, but they've had all the time in the world to tell their a better story, and they just keep not doing that. They just don't. That's not what their interest is. Their interest is these big spectacles. And so when he comes out and says, "Well, I don't know if I want to keep doing this forever," I'm like, "Bro, I just like one good movie that wasn't just a redundant thing. I would just like one." The only positive I'll give, the positive besides this, is I'm happy that a movie's about a family at least, and that the dad, Sam Worthington's character, Jake Sully, at least is around for his kids and he cares about his family. That is a
mm,
unfortunately an exceedingly rare quality in modern movies, which is a damn shame, and it's BS, and I hate it. And it's sad that I have to point out one of the positives in this movie is just doing the bare minimum of having a father who gives a crap about his family and is shown fairly positively as a protector. But that doesn't save it. There's these kind of movies. It just doesn't save it. And the
mm,
character lists just keep getting bigger and bigger with more and more of a cast.
mm,
At some point, you got to wrap this up, man. And especially with all the resources humans have, all the stuff that they set up in the first movie, it was already bad enough, and always not a good movie. But my first complaint was this, my complaint from the very beginning of the movie, first movie, is the same with this. You as like, yes, we defeated the humans, and then they came back. I'm like, well, of course they did. The humans like want to come back to Pandora, and especially what you introduced with this one with Spider. Now, Spider's even more important from what they've studied from him. You think they're not going to try to do everything they can to get him now so that
mm,
they can just come and just stay? And like,
mm.
yeah, the whole Kiri's big origin. I'm like, yeah, no crap. The same actress has been playing Sigourney Weaver's been playing that character. I think we guessed
Yeah.
a movie ago.
And Sigourney Weaver, she said her character's supposed to have I guess, a bigger role in the next one because she's supposed to narrate the next one. So
Oh
I
my
guess,
god. Yeah, I mean, that's what they've been kind of setting up is her to be like the basically the Gaia of the
mm,
planet, the mother, the shaman, basically.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes it sound like I'm shitting on it hard. I mean, I guess I still had a good time with it. I mean, like I said, it is impressive there visually. I think there's some good elements as far as some villains kind of go. Like I said, Una Chaplin, I think, her character in the Ash People. I just, like we did with Way of Water, I wish we focus more on like their culture and what's kind of going on there with them and how they kind of operate. And I think the humans, if you kind of maybe put them at a reduced role there, I think that also would have been pretty good just to focus more on like just the Navi people
Yeah,
and
like
them, having this kind of battle and turmoil there. I think that also would have been good to kind of see in a full out maybe fight between the Ash people and between, these people. I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, no, I wasn't. It's just yeah, that would be nice, but the whole idea is like humans ain't going nowhere. So stop focusing on that. Like the humans are going to be a big part of this, and he keeps just like shitting on humanity. Can we not have human beings being stupid and completely just like only the Navi are good people, only this, and then you introduce a Navi that maybe aren't the best, and like, ooh, being a little, you're really stretching yourself, James, really stretching yourself, your writing capability, and
Mm,
even then, he doesn't give that much time to it. They're just another fodder to do his dances with wolves for the 3 times in a row. He's going to do that for 4 and 5. There's only one way this is going to end.
mm,
There's only one way this is going to end. Either humans make peace with the Navi and they make peace, or Navi somehow leave their planet and take the fight to Earth.
mm.
And the Navi aren't going to take the flight to Earth because they don't have the interstellar capabilities.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Do we
I
know
mean,
that yet?
even then, what they're
Um,
gonna like? The only other way is to think is they grow a giant tree and they shoot themselves into space, and then
yeah.
the tree's just gonna keep them enclosed. There's various ways. I mean, keep them enclosed, and then there's a lot of dumb shit they can do, but
Mm,
it's just I. No matter what, he's kind of pigeonholed himself.
Mm, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly what the idea is for. I mean, I could pretty much already see kind of some of it here with this
Yeah.
one, of kind of where they're going with this. But yeah, I mean, gorgeous movie,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful movie. There, I'll say that
It's a
till
spectacle movie, but there's not much else there.
cows come home. I'll say that till the Navi come home. But yeah, just story-wise, it's just pretty weak there with that, and you are getting a lot of stuff that you've seen in the second one and in the first one again. Nature versus humanity and these people, joining with nature and against the big corporation, military, industrial complex, and who's gonna win out. Um that aspect of that, and that comes back in here again. But like you said, I do like the family aspect. I think that's good. I think, that's a kind of good aspect of that. Some aspects of actual the Navi people and their culture and, a lot of that stuff is kind of cool and things like that. The action sequences are good when they have to be. It's just feeling very repetitive and very kind of like, okay, maybe there does need to be another big break between these Avatar movies. So maybe I can forget what happened before in this last one and go like, oh, maybe this is fresh again. Oh, okay. I haven't seen this in over 15 years. So maybe it's fresh again. So yeah, for me, I just kind of give it a I mean, you gotta see it if you are gonna see, you gotta see it on the big screen. So for that,
Yeah.
I'd give it like a tune in for me. What about you?
If you're gonna see this, yeah, because that's the only way it's really made for is the cinema. But I just don't know, man. This is I'm just gonna give this a stream it.
Mm,
If you really want to see this, go to the theater. But otherwise, if you got a good home set up, there's no reason to drag your ass to theaters.
yeah. It's impressive though. I mean, how much emotion they can do with all this stuff, that's on them, all these ping pong balls that
Oh
are
yeah,
on them, and
sure,
you
sure. I
know,
mean, again, like I said, James Cameron is a incredible technical director. The amount of things he's done to get his career, he has earned his stripes. He has made he's literally patented technology for these films. Patent the water technology, patent the lighting technology, patent a lot of aspects. He's made breakthroughs in water equipment and submersibles to
yeah.
keep going to depths otherwise to film more as like film footage underwater. That's one of his passions. He's a technical engineer guy, and you can see that, but he is not a writer.
Yeah.
He's not a
Uh,
wordsmith. He's not a storysmith.
yeah. Let's catch up on. I'm gonna catch up on this chat
Yeah,
before
go
we
for it.
close out of this review. This person said, Elena Fisher there said, the sequels are about 90 minutes worth of story stretched out into 6 hours of admittedly amazing visuals.
Pretty much,
Uh,
yeah.
Hunter says, "Oh yeah, that was good." Also, Zoe Kravitz only likes white guys too, so my joke still
Well,
applies. That is true there. Um, says yeah in 3D. So yeah, IMAX. If you're gonna see it in IMAX 3D. Did you see it in 3D or just IMAX or
I
both?
just saw it IMAX.
Oh, okay. There's that there. Let's see. Hunter also said, I have all the Planet Earth documentaries. I'd rather listen to David Attenborough. With
Yeah,
that.
honestly, that is an idea. You could honestly just mute this movie, compile like a couple of shots, and make a really fun parody of Planet Earth, but with the Navi and doing it using AI with Edinburgh and just doing like the Navi in their natural environment. Honestly, would be more interesting than the story I've been presented.
Sage also said there's I think these movies think that they are deep.
Yes,
Um,
that's a good way of putting it.
Hunter said, who knew the way of water was absolutely was about shallow water was
Mm,
shallow water there. Look at that. It says feels like 50 main characters now.
mhm.
Um, I mean, even with the new people we get introduced to,
Yeah.
it's still the same kind of circle of people. You still have like Giovanni Ribisi, who's like the angry corporate guy. You still got Edie Falco, who's the angry military person. You still got Stephen Lang. It's still kind of some of the same main core
They even
people.
brought back older characters that by this point I'm like, "Oh, you're still in this? Oh yeah, I remember you from like the first one."
Yeah. So, yeah. Or like that
The scientist
that
dude.
yeah, the scientist dude. I forgot his name. The guy from that movie with Paris Hilton, Hot or Not, or Hottie and the Naughty or some
The
shit like
hottie
that.
and the naughty.
Yeah. So yeah, that guy. But yeah, so even bring back some of those people. And then looks like some other human beings have joined the cause of fighting for the Na'vi. We saw in this movie there. No, not Jermaine Clement. The other guy, the tall guy, tall, skinny guy. But yeah, Jermaine Clement also is a good human guy in this movie too.
Yeah, he
There.
had a Navi body in the first one. He was fighting with everybody, and then it got shot, and he woke up.
Yeah.
He's just living
Um.
in a human body because they don't allow. I guess they're not going to give him the resources to do that.
Yeah, this is probably the best way to watch it. He says, Hunter said, I got a sound bar.
Yeah,
I'll have an edible and watch this 18 months from now. I just can't be bothered to leave my house for this.
I
So,
got you, man. I feel you.
uh, and this movie has to make a lot of money. It's got to make a
It
lot of money.
does. It is one of the most expensive movies of all time. I think the budget was like $450 million,
Yeah.
not
So,
including marketing.
so this is a huge movie. I don't know. You think it can do as well as the second one,
I think
or
it'll do 7 to 800 mil.
that's it? Yeah.
Maybe. I just don't. The people who are going to watch this are going to watch this, but I just don't think it's going to have the Avatar 2. It's been a long time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think 8 to 900 mil is probably where it's going to stop.
Mm. Yeah, like I said, the benefit of the second one was there had been such a big gap
Yeah,
between it. And I
I
know
just
some
yeah.
people, go like, "There's no well, these movies don't have any cultural impact." I do think these movies have cultural impact because if they didn't, the second one wouldn't make as much money as it did.
I think it's very limited, unfortunately.
It just is like, okay, now that these movies are so close together now, like 3 years apart, it's like, okay. I mean, which is
Yeah,
still
bump
good
them out.
distance for a sequel, but it's
Yeah,
like, are they really that special anymore? With that, are they really that special anymore? Um,
yeah. People
and
aren't
then
spending. Yeah, and Hunter's right. People are not in a great financial place at the moment.
I mean, Lilo and Stitch made $1 billion. That made $1 billion.
That Lilo Stitch is a. I feel, and I'm so mad that it did. I'm so angry that it made $1 billion because it just set the precedent even further of just gonna get slop from Disney. That atrocious fucking remake.
Zootopia made $1 billion too.
I mean, yeah, Zootopia was gonna make money. The first one was loved. It
Yeah.
didn't matter almost what it was gonna be.
Uh, and then Sage said, even though a lot of people saw the second one, I still didn't hear anyone say anything about it or see any references to it anywhere in pop culture. Uh, yeah. So we'll see there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Avatar. I mean, do people talk about like, I guess, some awesome sequence from Whale Water? I mean, I did think some scenes were impressive with that, and I think some scenes were impressive with this, as well. But yeah. Kinda just same old in a lot of spots. So, you give it a stream it. I give it a tune in for Avatar: Fire and Ash. There we go. That was our thoughts on that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sage. Thank you so much, Hunter. Thank you so much for, that Elena there. Thank you for stopping by in the chat there. Much appreciated. We're gonna be headed. Thank you, Lucky Dog. Love me some Lucky Dog there. Love me some Dusk. Thank you, Dusk. Thanks for stopping by, man. Much
Yes,
appreciate.
sir.
Enjoy your time off, man. Friday, man. Happy holidays to you.
Yes, sir. You too.
Merry Christmas, Merry
Merry
Kwanzaa,
Christmas, Merry Kwanzaa, Merry Hanukkah.
Merry Hanukkah there. What other holidays happening? I don't know. Mormon
Next
Day.
year, yeah,
Mormons, they
next
got
year
some.
will be Ramadan if you care.
Oh, Ramadan is Ramadan. So there you go.
Ramadan's in February.
Okay, well there you go. There's that. Happy early Ramadan there. All that good
It's
shit.
rated to maturity. God damn.
I was like hearing this because I feel like he's as cynical as I am there. Thank you, Hunter. Great stream
Thank
as
you, sir.
always there. Have a good night. Have a good night to you. Is that the only real big Hanukkah movie? Eight Crazy Nights.
That's it depends on when you're feeling on Hanukkah.
Yeah, I guess is that. I mean, we need some more Hanukkah movies,
We
man.
do. We need more Hanukkah movies. Eight Crazy
Huh?
Nights was not a great movie.
I've never seen it before,
Oh,
but
you've never. You know what?
no.
That's for the best.
Yeah,
It is a very crass movie.
yeah. Typical Adam Sandler there.
It is.
Let's see. Is Dante is still he's still on there? Let me see if he's still on. I'll go ahead and give him a raid there if he's still on. And he is. I'll go ahead and give him a raid. Upcoming streams there, like I said, I'm gonna be with Sage from Rated M for Immaturity. We're gonna be Monday. We're gonna be doing a review for Dispatch, doing spoiler talk for that, doing spoiler talk for Metal Gear Solid Delta, also doing Jujutsu Kaisen Execution. Wednesday, I'm doing a stream. Hopefully, Neil is feeling better. He can join me. Doing a review for The Princess Bride. Do a review for that. If I don't catch any of you, happy holidays, good stuff like that. Like all to you people there who celebrate. Gonna raid Dante's playing that Clear Obscure Expedition 33. One of the best games of the year, maybe one of the best games ever. He's playing that. And it says Uncut Gems had some culture to it. I do people see people use that gif a lot from Kevin Garnett in that movie. That like, why the fuck would you sell me some shit if I can't have it? I do people see people use that gif a lot with that. But yeah, so future streams there. Enjoy your time. I'm gonna be enjoying my time. I got good days off. I got like a whole 5-day weekend coming up, so I'm gonna be enjoying my time off.
Nice.
So all right, everybody, stay
Stay
tuned.
tuned.
Out of here. Take care. Bye. Have a good night, Dust.